Hi, welcome everyone. Welcome back to Uplatz training and welcome back to Uplatz training on Linux basics and shell scripting. So yesterday we have seen the Linux basics. Linux basics means basically we have seen the introduction. So what do you mean by Linux, and then the other things like how the Linux is evolved and what are the modules of the Linux and all that things. I hope you enjoyed that particular chapter, and you would have browsed through other websites and other internet to know the more information on that. Okay, so maybe the that particular one, it is all of theory, but from today onwards we'll be seeing most of the thing in the terminal, so with the commands and all. I hope this will be very interesting to you all. Okay, so let us start. So let us start with the uh, basic commands and how what are the commands, and then all the next topics actually. Okay, so let us open what we have did yesterday. So we have done with like all these things. So before that, you can know this particular information, what we have: contact us, email and phone, so to approach us. Okay, so let us go resume mm, from the yesterday thing. Okay, so like no, so now if you see this one, the login session. Okay, so today we will be discussing about the like no, how we'll start with that, how you will open terminals, and then how you open the consoles and GUI, CUI, and then also like no, what are the basic commands actually. So apart from commands, like no, we'll see what is option, what is argument, and all that things actually. Okay, so let us open our notes so that we will see. Okay, so day one, yesterday we have seen with the introduction. Okay, so today is day two. So what is that? Whatever, like no, day one, or we can say that one, part one. Okay, so some things maybe done more than like no, multiple things in a day. So just like no, we'll say that one part one or part two, or we can classify whatever the way we want. Okay, so today's scope is like no, login session, and then terminals or consoles, how you will open, how you'll switch back and forth between the terminals, between the tabs and all. Okay, so basically okay, we'll see CUI and GUI. So CUI is graphical, GUI means graphical user interface, CUI means command line interface. So command line interface means whatever like no, console. We'll just come to that point, and then basic commands we will see. So this is whatever today's like no, this particular today's session we will try to see this particular one. Okay, so let's start with login. So what do you mean by login actually? So whenever you open a like no, operating system, you switch on the operating system, any operating system, it may be Windows, it may be Linux or anything, it will start booting process. So once it starts with booting process, it will be like no, everything successful, then it will come and ask you the login credentials. You usually know that one. So in this particular login credentials, you have to pass username and password prompt correctly. So password, it will not display, you have to just type that, it will take, but it will not display. So that's what the username and password. Once it is done, then you will have something, this GUI, whatever we are seeing. So but if you don't want the GUI, you want something console, and so that is a different thing. Like now we will see how we will go from console to like no, GUI and all. So this is the base thing what you get. So but you know that one, Linux basics, you will be all everything using in the terminal. So first I want to open a terminal. So if I want to open a terminal, the shortcut key is Control Alt T. So if you open Control Alt T, enter Control Alt T, you will get a terminal actually. So let us assume I want another terminal. Okay, so I can say again another Control Alt T, right? So now I want another terminal, I can again say Control Alt T. So let us assume I have three terminals. I don't need three terminals, but just for our experiments, I'm just taking this particular one. So this is command line interpreter. You can type any command, then you will get the output. So basically you need a Linux system for this to experiment. But just in case if you don't have any Linux system, you can Google in the online shells online, so that you can get this particular terminals and you can simulate this. Okay, so but the best method is you have any Linux system. So we are using Ubuntu. You can use any Linux system. It doesn't matter, Red Hat or anything, actually, any Linux system. And of course, if you, yeah, so that is the basic thing. Okay, so this is how you open a terminal. Control Alt T. But let us assume I don't want these terminals. I want a tab in the terminal. Okay, so then I can say Control Shift T. So if I say this one, Control Shift T, I have these different tabs in the same terminal. So you can differentiate. These are the different terminals, and these are the tabs in the terminal. So let us assume I want to browse between the terminals. What I need to do? Okay, so the usual case, you know that one, Alt Tab. So I have in this terminal, so Alt Tab, you can see here. So I pressed Alt Tab and just wait for that particular one. Just keep pressing Alt, then it will display this different terminals in that tab actually. Then I can say another Alt Tab for the second one and the third one, like that. So that is the way how we will browse through the terminals actually. Okay, so let us assume I want to browse through this particular tabs in the terminal. Then what I need to do? So Alt 1 and Alt 2, Alt 3. So you can browse that particular one, Alt 1, Alt 2, Alt 3. So that's what we have seen. So just to recap, so to open a terminal, what you press Control Alt T. So that is for opening a terminal. And opening, creating or opening, whatever. So tab from terminal. Okay, so I want to create a tab from the terminal, so that is Control Shift T. Okay, so that is Shift T. Okay, so I want to switch between different terminals. Okay, so that is, you know that one, Alt Tab. So I want to switch between different tabs in the same terminal. So that is Alt plus 1, Alt 2, Alt 3, like that. How many tabs you have? If you have 4 tabs, Alt 1, 2, 3, 4, it will switch to that. So this is all whatever you open the terminal in a GUI thing. So you open this all thing in GUI. So, but you want to do that one in CUI, command line interface. I cannot demonstrate you, because if I demonstrate you, then it will go to the CUI and I cannot record this particular one. So you can experiment on your own. So CUI means console or command user interface actually. Means just that is a pure console or command line. Means there is no graphics. So only the command line interface will be there. So that is GUI means graphic user interface. This is command line user interface. Okay, so so how you will go to this particular CUI? Okay, so this is also called console actually. So Control Alt F1. There are 6 consoles actually. So Control Alt F1 to Control Alt F6. You will have 6 consoles. Okay. So each one is a real terminal actually. Means you cannot create any terminal, or there is no graphics actually. There is no GUI. So that is the CUI. But if I want again, you need to switch back to GUI. So you need to press Control Alt F7. Okay, so Control Alt F7 from CUI to GUI. Okay, command line interface to graphic user interface. Okay, so that's what this particular brief on that. Okay, so there you can observe whenever you press Control Alt F1, it will show you the one console. It will be naming as TTY1, and then TTY1 to TTY6. Okay, so TTY1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So first time you need to enter the login name and password. As I said, password, it will not be displayed. So you will be only seeing the username. and there will not be any password. So once that is if you provided proper credentials, then it will give you a dollar symbol or whatever the configured that particular one, whatever we have seen in the terminal. Okay, so whatever we got, the same thing it will show. And then if you want to you can switch between the terminals. That was the thing whenever you don't have the Linux has not started with the GUI. Actually, Unix is there was the previous couple of years back, what I'm telling is 15-20 years 15 years back or something, there is no GUI in the Linux actually. So that is the way you use it to do. So so as I said, in that console you can enter username and password. So that's what the basic thing. Okay, so just to recap, Control Alt T, Control Shift T, Alt Tab, and Alt F1, that is switching between terminals and tabs and whatever. And if you want to go from GUI to CUI, so you need to have this one, and it will ask the first time username and password and valid credentials. Then only it will display the dollar prompt. Okay, so here I have entered the properly. That's what I got, this GUI window. Okay, so once if you want to switch back to this, you can say that one Control Alt F7 actually. Okay, so this is from GUI to CUI. So how to differentiate between different 6 CUIs are there, 6 consoles are there. How you will differentiate? You will be differentiating with the name TTY. Okay, TTY 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It will be displaying. Okay, so that is the base on that. So now let us check on the commands actually. Whatever the commands we have, we will see that particular commands and what are the things. Okay, so let me close on this. I don't need. Okay, so I don't need this terminal. So if you don't want to have the terminal, you just say exit, or you can just directly say this particular button. It is your wish. But if you are in a console, you want to exit, then you better to learn this way, exit. Okay, so exit. So I am just resizing this. Okay, so now we have seen whatever the base things, creating consoles and terminals and how you switch between that. Now let us see these commands and all. Okay, so directly we know what is mean by command. Okay, so command means a instruction or a request to the operating system to get certain things. Okay, so we will see brief on that. So let us assume I want I want to know where I am there so I can say this one pwd. Okay, so means present working directory, actually means where is my directory. So if you observe here, I have /home Uplatz, actually means the username is Uplatz. It can be anything in your case, actually your name or whatever you want to do. So system administrator can create the user, or you yourself can create if you have the super user permissions. So either way, but I have created a user named Uplatz, so for our training. So now home Uplatz. So this one, if you see, there is no C drive, D drive, E drive in the Linux system. Everything will start with /, which is nothing but a home directory, or this is called root actually. So /root, and under that home will be there, and then any number of users. Let us assume we have 3 users, user 1, user 2, user 3 with their names. So it will be /home user 1, /home user 2, /home user 3. Okay, so like that. So it can be anything. Okay, so here we are using the Uplatz. Okay, so now let us assume this is the basic command actually. Now pwd means command. I want to see what are the files or subdirectories in this command. Then it is ls actually. So if you see this particular ls, you can see list contents. Ls is the list contents, which will give you whatever what are the contents in that particular home Uplatz directory. What are the contents? It is equivalent to double click on the directory actually. So if you see double click, then you will see that one. So I will go here. I'll just see this one home. So if you see this one home, right? So if you see home, then I have I have whatever desktop document, the same thing actually. So I am just double click that particular one. So if I want it is telling double clicking in that particular directory. Okay, so now let us assume these are the things, list contents. Actually we'll see more on that. So let us see another couple of comments, like no date. Okay, so it will give whatever the date, and then like let us assume cal is calendar, so like that. Actually, so there are so many comments, and so many n number of comments, but we are not worried as of now. So we just see the base comments actually. Okay, so now we know the commands. Okay, so before doing this, like no, let us assume I want to create a directory. Okay, so I want to create a directory named Linux samples. Actually, I want to create. We are experimenting this one, so let us create a directory. So if you want to create a directory, I need to say make directory Linux samples. So remember that if you are not giving like no, if you are giving space, then it is not valid, because this directory name has the way to create the file name, means no spaces. Actually no special characters and spaces. Underscore is allowed, but if you give spaces, it will create two directories. One is Linux, one is samples, but you don't want that. So I want only one directory. So you can see here make directory, mkdir is make directory. So now if you say pwd, it is same home Uplatz, and then if I say ls, then you can observe here another directory got created. Okay, but it is in the color code, means like no, it is a directory actually. Okay, so now these are the default directories which will be created whenever you create a user. Okay, so that is the other directories, but Linux sample is our directory. Okay, so now I want to experiment in this, so I want to go to this particular directory. Okay, so if I want to go to that directory, I need to say cd. Okay, so cd Linux samples. Okay, and then I want to see what are the files in that. So I say ls. You know that one, nothing is there. Just now we have created that file, and if I say ls, nothing will be there. So it is equivalent to doing here. So going there in the home, and then double click, right? So nothing is there. So it is equivalent double clicking ls, that one, to list that particular one. Okay, so this is basically command. Okay, so now we will see like now what are the different ways, like now how you can represent. So this first is command we have seen. So command is a instruction or request to the request to the shell to execute certain thing. Then shell will request the operating system. Operating system will see whether it is valid. If it is valid, then it will give the output. If it is not valid, it will tell that one it is not found or something like that. So let us assume I say ls b something, ls something, lsy. Okay, so you can see here no command actually. Okay, so no command, then it is a error. Okay, so that's what this particular one. If it is valid, it will give you output. If it is not valid, it will say that one, like no, whatever the command found, command not found. Okay, so that is basic about the command. Now we will see like no, along with option. So command plus option, then okay, so we will see command plus option, maybe options also. Okay, so then option plus argument, and we can see command option with value, and command option with value plus argument. Okay, it can be multiple arguments also. It is not only like no one argument you will have, you can have multiple arguments. Okay, you know the command, like no, whatever we have seen. So we have seen with the commands pwd, ls, date, calendar, make directory, and then cd, like that. So if you see this in the make directory, we have given the name. Okay, that is nothing but the argument actually. So you try to give just make directory, then it will tell missing operand actually. Okay, so this is called the argument actually. So this is like no command and argument, but our simplification, I'm just telling command option argument. It is not like no, you need to have an option mandatory for the argument. It is not like that. So since to have in a simple way, otherwise it may be so many options here, like command option, and then command argument, then command option plus argument, like that. So much it will grow. So I don't want to make that complex. So that's what we are classifying this. So here just this is we are classifying our own understanding. There is nothing hard and fast rule to do like this actually. Okay, so now let us check what do you mean by option. Okay, before knowing what do you mean by option, before knowing what we mean by option, so okay, so let us clear the screen. So to clear the screen, you can say the command control clear command, otherwise control L, either way you can do. Okay, so now we need to check with the options. So before checking the options, let us create 3 empty files. Okay, so now are whatever 2 files. So ls means nothing is there. So let us create 2 files actually. So I say that one, whatever the touch f1.txt. Okay, so if you see this one, now say ls, now you got whatever the ls f1.text. Let us create another file. Okay, so f2.txt. Okay, so then like now of course you can create in single shot, but just for as of now we will see in like now in a basic way. Later we will see how like no how you can do in a different way, like multiple sources, single destination, so many things. Okay, so we'll see that one in the next topic. Okay, so now I say ls, now you can see here 2 files actually. So this is this particular one, ls 2 files. Okay, so now you know command, you know option we have not seen. So what do you mean by option actually? So option means the name says it is option. If you want you can use, if you don't want don't use that. So we'll see this one, like if you see here f1.text, f2.text, it is only given the just simple information. It has not given the complete information actually, but I want complete information, so I'll say ls minus l. Okay, so that is it will give complete information. If you see here whatever the total 0, so how many like no total here 0 bytes, I have not written anything, so 0. So touch will create an empty file actually. So touch is creating a empty file. Okay, it is not only it will create empty file, it will do other task also, like no changing file access time. So that we will see in a like no little later. So this touch means as of now it will create an empty file. If the file already exists, it will update the file modification time actually. So every file has the time actually. So file like modified time, access time, and then the like no permissions time. Okay, so there are 3 times. Okay, so now if you see here, like no these are the whatever the permissions for that particular file actually. So who is the user, owner, group, and all that. So this one we will see extensively in the second chapter with the change mode actually. So there is lot of thing in for this actually. It will take more than half an hour to demonstrate you this particular one. So we'll see that one detailed with the change mode. And then this one is the, this we will see in the whatever the like links actually. So here like no how many links for this particular file, generally it will be 1. Okay, so now this one is username and this one is whatever the group name actually. Okay, so if you see like now you can demonstrate that one with id. Okay, so if you see here user id is 1002, but username is whatever Uplatz. Here it is same group, but in like now if you want a different you can create, but as of now by default it will create same username and same group name. And this is the file size. Since the file is empty, we have like no it is showing only 0. If you have some contents, then it will show certain contents. We are not yet seen how to generate the content. Of course you can have a geo editor, directly you can write the contents, but that is not our intention. We will write the contents in the file using the vi visual editor. So that is the topic of the like no next topic, so that we will see there. So as of now just to view that one as a just file, normal file with 0 contents. Okay, because we want file only, so we are trying to understand this comments and all. Okay, so this is the, as I said, this one, this particular thing is the file creation time or file modification time. And then if you see this particular f1.text, whatever the file name, so if you see here this particular option. Okay, so this is the option. So option, if you option can start with minus or minus minus. Okay, so if it is minus, it is called the short option. If it is minus minus, it is called the long option actually. Okay, means what? So if you have minus l, so you are not giving total name actually. So let us assume I want something like this. Okay, minus minus help. Okay, so if you see here like now if you see this one, it is the help page actually. Okay, means for this it is telling you ls option and then whatever the files if you want to give, and then this particular dot dot. Okay, so that are the information. So you can see here what are these particular options. So if you see here minus help, so minus h is different, minus minus help is different. So you cannot assume that one same command may be same for short command and long option, same cannot be for same short and long option. So some places both are there actually. So if you see this one, like no minus s, it is there for both actually. So if I say ls minus s, so whatever 0 and minus minus size, so it will give same thing actually, 0 bytes for that one. So here for minuses it is there, but you may not be expecting all for all the options you have a long option. No, some cases you have only short option, some cases you have short option and long option. Okay, so that is the basic information. So now you have seen command, now you understand command, now you understand option. Okay, so short option you know, long option you know, so I leave it with this. Option means short or long. Okay, so now I'll clear the screen. This time I am pressing Control L. Okay, now we'll see argument actually. So let us assume you know that one, whatever ls, it will give two files. Maybe I will create another file, f3.txt actually. Okay, now I say ls, so you can create, it will create whatever the these files. If you see here, the time is there actually. Okay, so whatever the file creation time. Okay, so now this is you know command, you know option. Now we'll see command, option, and you don't want, let us assume, all the files. You want only one file actually. So that is the purpose. So now you see this one, this is nothing but the argument actually there. So you may ask that only one argument, can I have multiple arguments? Yes, you can have the multiple arguments actually. Okay, but can I have only one option here? I want multiple whatever arguments, multiple options. So if you say ls minus l and then minus t, if you see here the latest time, like no latest file is displayed first actually. So these are the another option, like latest time. Okay, so now I say whatever the minus r actually. Okay, so means reverse of this particular one, like no. Okay, so reverse latest time ls minus l. Okay, so minus r. Okay, so now if you see this one, minus r means reverse of this particular time actually, means the oldest time first. So you can have multiple option, not only one option, you can have multiple option. So you can also represent something like this, ltr. So why I need to give this minus symbol all for all the options? I can give only one. Yes, you can give, so you can give only minus and then you can give all that thing. Okay, so it is like, do I need to follow the same order? No, your wish, whatever way you want, like no, you can do that particular one, it will give the same output. Okay, so now we have seen command, option and argument or arguments actually. Okay, so I'll clear screen once again. So let us assume minus l and then whatever the minus like size. Okay, and then argument, like no f1 dot text. Of course size is same thing for all. Okay, so we otherwise we will see this particular one, inode actually. Inode is a like no information number given for each file to represent actually. Each file, it may be directory also, not only for file, it will be directory also. So this is inode information, means so we are recognizing file with a name, but the operating system will recognize the file with the number, that is called information node. Okay, inode information node, which is unique for each file actually. Okay, and you see tomorrow also same thing, means any day you see this one, unique name, unique one actually. You create another file, like no whatever, it will be unique for everything actually. So it is the inode thing. Okay, so if you want with long option, let us assume I want with long option. Okay, you can have the same thing. Okay, so this is whatever we have seen, command, option plus arguments actually. Of course here we have given all the file names, maybe not needed, you can experiment in either way what you want. Okay, so now let us check what you mean by option with value. Okay, so I'll just clear the screen. Option with value. So let us check this particular calendar command actually. Okay, so I have calendar command. So you know that one, it will give the whatever 2020. Okay, so June. Okay, so now let us assume I want like no, I want 2019 calendar or 21 calendar. Okay, so I say that one cal 2021. Okay, so if you see here 2021, this is nothing but an argument actually. Okay, so but assume that I don't want like no 2021 all months. I want only maybe like no, my friend's birthday or something. I want the 2021 or my birthday. Okay, so I want like no June. So I say this one 6 and then 2021. Now you can see here whatever this particular like now June 2021. So you can also cross check with your thing whether it is right. It will be right, so no doubt in that. So June 2021. So now you can see the calendar. Okay, so but it is like no default, but the way proper way. So let me clear the screen once again. Okay, so now the proper way like this is month 6 2021 actually. Okay, so let us ask something like this. Okay, so if you see here minus m stands for month. Okay, and sixth, which month you want. Okay, so sixth month it will display. Okay, so this is nothing but option with value. Okay, we need to pass definitely the value, otherwise it is not going to display that particular one. Okay, so if you just say minus m, okay, so then it will give you that particular arguments requires a argument. Okay, so it will tell that one it requires a argument actually. Okay, so that's what this particular one. Okay, so this one cal minus m and then whatever the name. Okay, so cal minus m, maybe May March. Okay, so 2019 maybe 2019. Okay, so there is no need space also, directly you can do here, but you cannot do something like this, which I hope you cannot do like this. Okay, so but you can do whatever m3 option with value actually, or m5 whatever the thing. Okay, 5 2022. Okay, so any year you can pass actually. Okay, so that's what the option with value and option with value with argument actually. Okay, so argument is, as I said that one, everything here command is compulsory in all the things. Maybe some cases option, if you want you can use short and long, and argument you can club with option or you can do without the option. That is up to you. And but you like no option and option value you can use actually. So for that particular option, so a couple of things it may be only option, some things it may be option with values. Okay, so that particular one. Okay, so now we'll see one interesting thing. So let us assume like no, let us check. Okay, if you do like this also. Okay, so February month we are doing. Okay, so this is the default actually. So default you can give without m. Okay, so that's what it will take. But for all options, if you have option with value, it may not work for all the options in for all the commands, but for calendar command it may work, both are same. But like no, your wish, whatever the way you use, but I hope you understood option with value. Okay, so that is the main purpose actually. Okay, now let us check something interesting. So you know that one minus 2020 is a leap year. Okay, so you have the 29 whatever the days. Maybe let us assume minus m2 2019. Okay, so you see here only 2021, only 28 days. Maybe I'll say minus m2 maybe 1800. So 1800 is not a leap year, so that's what whatever the 28. So leap year means it has to divide by 100. If it is divisible by 100, it has also has to divisible by 400. Of course, if it is divisible by 4, it is no other thing, it is okay. But if it is centurion year, it may not be. So 1900 if you take, it is again whatever like no, whatever the not a leap year. If you take 2000, so that is a leap year, because centurion year, as well as it will be modulus. If you divide by 4, the 0, so that is a leap year. Okay, you can go in internet and check for the leap year and all. Okay, so okay, more on the leap year. So this is this particular one. So now we have seen command, option, option with value, option with value plus arguments, and option arguments, and all 5 types we have seen. Okay, so let me show you one interesting thing in this. So let us assume I have calendar whatever minus a2. Okay, so if you see this one, after like no, after how many months, this is the current month, and then the next 2 months after the current month actually. So if I use this one, like no, you can expect like June is the current month, and before 2 months before that particular thing. Not only two, if you want to give 3, 4, 5, whatever you can give. So I want only 1 month before the current month, or like no 1 month before current month. You can do like this actually. Okay, so B is before, A is after. Okay, so that is the current month. Okay, so what I want to show you is like no minus A to before. So I want current thing and before after months. So if you see here, this is June is the current one. I want 2 months before this. I want 2 months after this. And here, if you see this little, this is the little different one. So I say year, means for the year you want to see, means year is 2020. So here 2 months in that year. So that's what November, December, and 2 months after the year. So January, Feb. So just like now, you can experiment with this particular one. Calendar with multiple options. As of now, you can see cal minus minus help. It will give whatever the help this particular one, but there are multiple ways how you can do the help. So that we'll see in the upcoming topics. Okay, so before this, I just want to show you another command. Okay, so same date command. So if you see here date, like no, you can see here Indian Standard Time. So let us assume I want to see the London time. Okay, so you know that one Indian Standard Time is UTC plus 5.5 hours. Okay, so if I take like Indian Standard Time, it is universal time. Universal UTC means universal coordinated time plus 5.5 5 hours 30 minutes. Okay, so if I like now, this is our Greenwich Mean Time, our UTC or Greenwich Mean Time, both are same. And if you take London or UK time, so it will be whatever the UTC plus 1.5 hours actually. Okay, so 1 hour. Okay, UTC plus 1 hour. Okay, so let us check on that. So let us see that particular thing. So how you will do, you say whatever the like no date is little interesting. So if you want only the month, okay, you can say just month like no plus. Okay, if you want year, you can just say plus year. Okay, and capital one with this. Okay, capital M with the whatever month 20. Okay, so not sure what is the capital M. What is capital M? You can check on this. What is the capital M? Minutes. Okay, it is a minutes actually. Okay, so now we have seen whatever this small, this is year, complete year. This is just 20 it will give, but you want 2020, you can get that. So month, whatever the minutes it is. Okay, and then small m is for the month. Okay, so like that you can get help date minus minus help. Okay, this is how you will you want partial information from date. So date will give complete information, what is today, Friday, weekday, and then month, then year, like no then whatever this particular time, and what ist, and then like no here actually. Okay, so this is today is 19th June, Friday 2020. So if you want individual thing, June month, and then year is 2020, and date whatever date you can see here 19th actually. Okay, time also you can check, hours, minutes, seconds. Okay, plus hour 20 plus minutes 28, means now the date would have changed 28. Okay, so then seconds, you know that one, whatever 30, whatever the 26 4 seconds. Okay, you can check on that, you can explore more on that. So what is our like no purpose? So we have seen that one ist date. Now we want to see the time zone of the like no time of the UK London actually. So then for that you need to see whatever the time zone Europe, and you want in Europe so many countries are there. Okay, so we are interested in the London. Okay, then I say date. Okay, so now you can see here whatever 15 like no you can see here how much difference, 4.5 hours difference will be there. So if you see here 5.5 1, so 4.5 hours it should be different actually. You can see here couple of seconds. Okay, so you can see here whatever that particular one, couple of that many like if you see this one, 4.5 hours different. Okay, so that is whatever the time zone if you want to display. If you want to set, you can have multiple ways. So if you want to display, let us assume whatever the applicable time zones you have. Okay, so you have one command, date time control or time date control. Okay, so date time control, no, time date control. Okay, so if you use this particular command, so it will give you complete information. What is the local time, what is the universal time. So here you can see that one, universal time UTC plus 1 hour. Okay, so 15:59, so that is whatever the London time. Okay, RTC time, time zone, whatever the Asia, Calcutta. Okay, so you can also do the same thing. Okay, instead of just date, if I say Asia, Calcutta, you can also see that. Okay, so that is whatever the time zone. Okay, so let us assume I want all the time zones in that. So I can say date time control, whatever the time zones. I have not remembered what is the time zone, so I say minus minus help, and I can say date time control. Okay, list time zones. Okay, so this is list time zones. Let me clear the screen. Okay, so date time control. So I just say list time zones. Okay, so now you can see. Okay, okay, time date control, right? Sorry, time date control and list time zones. Okay, so you will have to get display all the time zones. Okay, you can see here, this is only 36 lines. It is showing only single page. If you want to go to the second page, you just press tab symbol. Okay, no, sorry, not tab spin, not tab, space bar. Actually press space bar, it will give you whatever the next thing. Okay, so and if you want to come out of that, you enter quit, q for quit. So I'll do it again. Okay, I'll just say control L, then time zone. So let us check whatever our thing is Europe, right? So let us check on that Asia. So if you see this Asia, so you have multiple time zones actually. So where is our Calcutta? Okay, so IST, Indian Standard Time. So now let us take Europe. So if you see this one Europe, this one London. Okay, so that is that particular one, whatever the command types and all that thing. Okay, so this is whatever we want to cover today. Let us check on the slides whether like no cross check what we have covered or we missed anything. Okay, so let us go to that. Okay, so I'll just say shift F5, display from the current screen. So login session you have seen, and then terminal, how you navigate and all you have seen that one. Okay, and then okay, everything is a file. So as we discussed like no in the yesterday's introduction, everything is a file. So regular directories, regular files, directories, links, and all that we will see in the upcoming sessions. Okay, so now and then command option, this that's what we have seen actually. Okay, so that's what we have seen. Okay, so this is the uh, yeah, we are not missed anything, we have covered what we want to cover. Okay, so these are the basic things. This is basic fundamentals thing. So we have checked with like no command, what are the different option arguments, and we have experimented with multiple commands and the base core commands like ls, pwd, make directory, cd and all. Okay, so now this one we have seen the basic commands, but that are not enough. So just as we have seen couple of commands only. So in the next session we will go with these commands and we will try to uh, experiment with a sample application actually. So we'll create a sample application for understanding our commands. Okay, so then we will understand more on that. Okay, then see you in the next section. So okay, then thank you, see you in the next session. Bye for now.